Hello, I'm Wayne, and welcome to the Phoenix Gamer. Yes, so this is a video introducing my channel to yourselves. Brand new channel, and it's not my first foray into YouTube. I currently have a sci-fi channel called the Sci-Fi Collective, and also I do a Star Trek weekly podcast. However, I thought that I would make this channel as I am on a journey with my game collecting. I have been an avid game player and collector since I was a little lad, and over the years I've had collections that have spent hundreds and hundreds of titles. However, over time, as you become an adult, you do have certain responsibilities, and at points I've had to sell parts of my collection, and most recently, a couple of years ago, I sold the remainder of my collection to put on a sci-fi convention in Kings Langley, which was absolutely brilliant. However, it did mean that my collection was depleted. However, I am now determined to build back my collection and make it bigger and better than it ever was before. And I thought that it would be good to catalogue and discuss with anybody who may want to join me on that journey and just geek out over retro video games. So let's give you a little bit of a backstory on my history with games. I grew up pretty much with a control stick in my hand. When I was a baby, my older brother would sit me down with his Commodore 64 or Amiga and let me play along with the control. I can't remember this. However, I've seen photos and know that this is what happened, and it was ingrained in me that video games is a way of life. So my brother is a lot older than me, and by the time that I was 4 years old, he had flew the nest. However, he left me a parting gift. He left me my first Sega Master System, which was absolutely amazing. I loved the Master System, and I had quite a number of games on that. And the very first computer game that I ever completed in full at the age of 4 was Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy, one of my favourite games of all time, just because I'm so nostalgic about it. And I've since then I've always enjoyed platformers. From the Master System, I then went on to the Mega Drive. I first got my Mega Drive. It was early on. It was just after Moonwalker came out, because the console that I got was bundled with Altered Beast, and the store had also bundled it with Moonwalker and the Moonwalker VHS, and also had Golden Axe with it. And then I continued to collect on that, and I was eagerly anticipating the Mega CD. Got the Mega CD and collected. By the time that I traded in my Mega CD, I had a good 30 or 40 games for that, and I eventually at that point upgraded for the 3DO. And the 3DO is a system that is either off of a lot of people's radar, some people don't know about it at all, or some people just absolutely slate it. However, I loved the 3DO. It was out at a time when Mega Drive and SNES were the big players, and it blew me away. Yes, a year later, the PlayStation came out, so it's unfortunate, especially considering they put so much time and money and effort into FMV games. But I have a huge affinity for it. And then, as well as the 3DO, then I went on and got the PS1, got the Dreamcast. I didn't get the Saturn at the time, actually. I was never, I never shied away from the Nintendo stuff. However, I never owned any of the Nintendo stuff until a lot later in my collecting life, because you can't afford everything when you're a kid. So I was very much a Sega boy, though I would play Nintendo on a regular basis. Mainly because whilst I was growing up as well, my brother was trading at local car boot sales, or as Americans will call it, flea markets. He would have a video game stall every week doing that, and during the week he would leave me the games and the consoles that he would be selling. So I would have an array of NES, SNES, Mega Drive, Master System games to be playing, and I absolutely loved it. It meant that I got to explore a lot more games than I maybe would have done at that age, and it was really enjoyable. And he then went on to own his own shop in Watford, Hertfordshire. It was called The Next Level, and it was for me, it was a little slice of heaven as a kid to have a brother that was had his own video game store. And I'd love nothing more than to go down and sit behind the counter, help him out, or play some games, or just spend hours just looking at the games that he had in stock. And that was when I initially got the urge to get a 3DO, knowing what was coming out and seeing the games that were coming out, because the quality was absolutely amazing. It really did blow me away. Then I went on and got the PS2, the GameCube, the Xbox One, Xbox Original, 360, all of the current systems. At that point, from the GameCube was the first Nintendo console that I bought from new, and from that point on, I owned every single current gen console up until today. I don't own PS4 at the moment. We've just got an Xbox One and Nintendo Switch, which, now that I've got kids as well, they're growing up with computer games being a huge part of their lives as well. All three of my kids have got a Nintendo Switch, and I have to fight to get a go on them. So it's ingrained. It's very much, for us, it's a part of family life. It's sit down and play games, and whether it's even board games, we play a lot of games. So it's a huge part of family life. And I really want to get back to collecting games and building up my collection. It's a hard one, because you instantly want to try and collect as much as you can. However, I think I'm going to initially stick to Sega titles. I would love to get 3DO titles again. I'd love to get the 3DO back again, but I think I'm going to start with the basics. I'm going to start with the Mega Drive and Master System, and then move on as well. I'm not saying I'm not going to collect any Nintendo, because if I do see any games or consoles come my way that are a reasonable price, then yes, I'll pick them up, add them to the collection, and get that started. However, I think that's where my focus is going to be. So this is video one. The current games that I own, I don't own any retro games whatsoever. As I said, they all got sold. However, the only games that I've got is 360, Xbox One, and Switch. So that is where the collection is at the moment. And so this channel is primarily going to be about retro. However, I'm sure that I might throw in the odd thing or two from current if I think that it's relevant. But I hope that you guys will follow us on this journey and enjoy it, and also just communicate. Let us know if you think there's any titles that I need to pick up. If you see any bargains that you think that I should get, let us know. Send us a message. You can email the Phoenix Gamer Channel at hotmail.com, or you can leave a message on here. And I'd appreciate hearing from anybody along this journey. So, a bit of a long-winded video to start with. We'll be looking at video games next week when I pick some up, and also might talk a bit about like my first experiences with them and whether they hold up. So, really want to appreciate you taking the time to check out this video, and I will see you in the future.
Live from your grave.